Hi there. Today we are here to talk to you about one of the Plumbeeze's popular products, the yard hydrant. With yard hydrants, what we want to explain to you today is one of the troubleshooting techniques that we find most commonly required when using a yard hydrant. This troubleshooting technique is something that when talking to our technical support team, they believe you should do no matter what issue you're actually having with your yard hydrant. This is the first thing you should try to do. Before we get into actually explaining the steps of how to troubleshoot the yard hydrant, I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the parts of the yard hydrant itself. So here what you'll see is the valve body. Down in the valve body, there's a plunger. The plunger is what opens and closes the valve itself of the yard hydrant. Here you have your handle, which allows you to move the plunger. And what the handle actually does is moves the operating rod throughout the yard hydrant to allow the plunger to open and close. Here's the set screw. When the set screw is tightened, it allows the operating rod to move with the handle. And when the set screw is loosened, it allows the handle to move freely without moving the operating rod. So what we're going to talk to you a little bit about today with troubleshooting is as if you have a leak coming out of the faucet head of the yard hydrant itself. So let's get into it and explain some of the steps. So step one is you're going to use a hand wrench to loosen the set screw back here behind the handle. Once the set screw is loosened, you should be able to freely open the handle without moving the operating rod. So as you can see here, the operating rod is still moving because the set screw is tight. So once that set screw is loosened, handle comes up, operating rod stays where it is. Once in the open position, you'll tighten the set screw using a hand wrench again to a point at which it's snug. And then from there, when you move the handle back down, it will actually move the operating rod, moving the plunger and allowing it to be seated within the valve body. So again, bring the handle down, and let's say it's right about here, and now it's actually seated, the plunger will be seated in the valve body. At this point, what you're going to do is re-loosen the set screw. So again, once re-loosening that set screw, it's going to allow you to move the handle without moving the operating rod and the plunger still seated. And so you can actually bring the handle down freely to about 2 inches from the actual head of the yard hydrant itself. So let's just say roughly about here. At this point, retightening the set screw will allow you to close the handle and the plunger within the valve body to the point at which it kind of freely sits. So again, the handle will come up, and then right about here, you'll feel the plunger seated and click and lock into a closed position. And yeah, so you should from there be able to test your plunger to ensure that this troubleshooting technique worked. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any further questions, feel free to contact your inside sales rep. Thanks so much.